Bailey Tracy, thank you. And Floyd's death set off nationwide and global protests against police brutality that have continued daily since the encounter, and protests have been taking place here locally for the past 5 days. Our Robert Bradfield joining us live from downtown Jacksonville, where another protest is happening right now. Robert.
And this demonstration started with "Can we say his name?" and the group here responded, "George Floyd." That started this demonstration. They said that about 3 times here starting at 6:30 tonight. Go ahead and take a live look right now. There's about several hundred people gathered on the steps of the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. This organization, or this demonstration, was started by the Women's March of Florida, the Jacksonville chapter. I did speak with the organizer a short time ago, and she said she wanted to have this demonstration today specifically in honor of George Floyd, in remembrance is what she called it, on the day of his funeral. Now, 11 other organizations in Jacksonville are also taking part in this demonstration, including the Coalition of Jacksonville, that's the Northside Coalition, the League of Women Voters, the NAACP, as well as the ACLU, and different clergy community members as well. But again, several hundred people on the steps of the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. They are also calling for more accountability in terms of police actions, and they are also wanting JSO to release the body camera footage of shootings involved that we at least know of here, including the one of Jamie Johnson back in December. His mom has been very vocal about pushing JSO to release the body camera video of his shooting again that happened in December of 2019. This organization also, at least this gathering according to the organizer, was mainly supposed to be a news conference style because of the weather earlier tonight. They were not planning a march around the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. Just looking over my shoulder though, they do remain on the steps again of JSO, but they were not planning any movement as of now. We will continue to follow this demonstration as well, and we will have the latest for you here coming up tonight at 11. We are live downtown tonight. Robert Bradfield, First Coast News, on your side.
Robert, thank you. And as